Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my May book haul. So May was actually a really good month for acquiring books. I bought a few myself, I got quite a lot of gifts, I won a giveaway, and I bought a mystery book box. So there are quite a few to show you. I will just count though to get a number. So I've got 16 books here, 5 of which I bought myself, 4 of them are from the mystery book box, and I believe the rest of those were gifts. So this is an insanely good month of a book haul for me, so I better just crack on rather than chatting away about nothing. The first book I got was a gift from Emily over at Novel Novels. She sent me Lyrebird by Cecilia Ahern, however we're saying her name. So this is a book that Emily read and she decided that I would enjoy it too. This is about Laura, who, following the death of her father, her hidden life in remote West Cork is revealed. Encountering her by accident deep in the woods, Solomon Fallon feels an instant connection. Laura, nicknamed Lyrebird for her gift with sound, has a talent that offers her a passport into the world. Through Solomon, she seeks a new life, but Solomon's fear is that the world won't set Lyrebird free. Instead, it will put her in a cage. The story that unfolds is one of a quite extraordinary love. So I haven't got around to this yet. I am planning on it, but my May TBR got out of hand. My June TBR is insane, but I own this. Thank you, Emily, and I will be getting to it at some point soon. So I'm just doing these in the order that I got them. It's the easiest way to keep track. And the next books that arrived in my possession were from Connor at Connor's Library Corner. He did a giveaway for hitting 100 subscribers. He did like a Q&A with a giveaway attached, and he sent me 2 books from my Amazon wishlist. The first one being Frankly in Love by David Yoon, sorry. So I've read Nicola Yoon, I've read Everything, and The Sun Is Also a Star, so I decided that I would like to give David Yoon a go. This, do you know what? I'm not even too sure what it's about. The cover is gorgeous. This is about Frank Lee is caught between his parents' expectations and his own Californian life. Frank's parents emigrated from Korea and have pretty much one big rule for Frank: he must only date Korean girls. But Frank has fallen for Britt, who is smart, beautiful and white. His friend Joy Song is in the same boat, and so they make a pact. They'll pretend to date each other in order to gain their freedom. Frank thinks fake dating is the perfect plan, but it leaves him wondering if he ever really understood love or himself at all. How have I not read that before? Like, that is actually, I'm really excited for that. This may have to creep into my June TBR. That sounds like a lot of fun. The other book he picked from my wish list was Straight Until Morning by Liz Braswell. This is a Disney twisted tale based on Peter Pan. It says, what if Wendy went to Neverland with Captain Hook? I don't know why I found words so difficult then. So this is 16-year-old Wendy Darling wishes for a more exciting life. So when an opportunity to travel to Neverland on a pirate ship presents itself, Wendy makes a deal with the devil. But Neverland isn't quite the place she imagined it to be, and a little pixie named Tinkerbell seems less than friendly. Then Captain Hook reveals some evil plans for Neverland, and it's suddenly up to Wendy and Tinkerbell to save Peter Pan and his world. So I read another of specifically Liz Braswell's Twisted Tales. I read As Old as Time, which was the Beauty and the Beast one. I think I ended up giving it 3 stars, but it is generally just a fun time reading because everyone knows these stories, so putting a big like dark twist on them is really enjoyable, and I'm hoping this will be the same like level of good time. Next was a gift from Sarah from Septimus Snape, which I was so grateful for, and that was Permanent Record by Mary H.K. Choi. So I've read Emergency Contact, and without even knowing what this book is about, I whacked it on my Amazon wishlist because I really enjoyed Emergency Contact. It's one of my favourite books of 2019. So yeah, this is, I'm not going to go through the whole thing because there is a lot on the back. But this says, on paper, college dropout Pablo Rhine doesn't have a whole lot going for him. His graveyard shift at a 24-hour deli in Brooklyn is a struggle. Plus, he's up to his eyeballs in credit card debt. Never mind the state of his student loans. Pop juggernaut Liana Smart has enough social media followers to populate whole continents. The brand is unstoppable. She graduated from child stardom to become an international icon, and her adult life is a queasy blur of private planes, hotel rooms, and strangers screaming for her just to notice them. I'm going to stop reading because there is a lot on the back of this book. This just seems like a fun time. I really enjoyed Mary H.K. Choi's writing in Emergency Contact, so I wanted to give the next book a shot, so thank you, Sarah. Next to some books I bought myself. I saw them going on Facebook for like insanely cheap, for what they are, so I just grabbed them. The first one being The Wicked King by Holly Black. I read The Cruel Prince back in April, I want to say. Sure it was April. I don't think it was the start of this month. And really enjoyed it, and I said if I saw the paperback for The Wicked King going cheap, I was just going to grab it. I feel like I could have just read The Cruel Prince and stopped there, but I said if I found it going very cheap, then I was going to grab it. So that is exactly what I did. Yeah, so The Cruel Prince is about some twins who are human, and their parents get murdered by like a fairy king, and they get thrown into the land, like the world of fairy, and they have to adjust, but no one really wants them there because they're not fairy. It really not my normal cup of tea, but I read The Cruel Prince. I'm pretty sure I gave it like 3.5 4 stars. I did enjoy it. I thought the writing was beautiful, so decided to give the next book a shot. Next is one I've had my eye on for a while, and again saw it going cheap, and that's There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. This is a very small book, and after buying it I realised I may own this on my Kindle because I remember saying I was going to read it at some point, but that's fine. It's a cute book. Without reading what it's about first, there's someone having someone being in my house without my knowledge is like a major fear of mine. Obviously, I don't think that's like irrational at all. So even the title of this book freaks me out, but it says Makani Young thought she'd left her dark past behind her in Hawaii, settling in with her grandmother in landlocked Nebraska. She found new friends and has even started to fall for mysterious outsider Ollie Larson, but her past isn't far behind. Then one by one, the students at Osborne High begin to die in a series of gruesome murders, each with increasingly grotesque flair. As the terror grows closer and her feelings for Ollie intensify, Makani is forced to confront her own dark secrets. So it is a really short book. I don't even think it's 300 pages. It feels like it's going to be something I can sit, it's 287. I can sit when I want a bit of like tense read and enjoy this. I'm hoping might save it for an October readathon with it being quite short. We'll see. Next is one I was really holding out and hoping to find for cheap, and that is The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware. I'm pretty sure, like, the end pages are absolutely gorgeous. I got this for literally a couple of pounds on Facebook, and it's got red sprayed edges. Really love it. I don't like it as much as the American cover with like the lock. That's not the point. It's the same book. I read my first Ruth Ware this month. I read In a Dark, Dark Wood and gave it 3 stars. I didn't really love it, but everyone says this is so much better. And I've been waiting to find it for like an affordable price. And this is a perfect edition, perfect condition hardback. Words are not working. I'm sorry. So this is about Rowan, who stumbles across an advert which seems like an opportunity too good to miss, a live-in nanny position with a staggeringly generous salary. When Rowan arrives at Heather Bray House, she is smitten by the luxurious smart home fitted out with all modern conveniences in the beautiful Scottish Highlands and this picture-perfect family. What she doesn't know is that she's stepping into a nightmare, one that will end with a child dead and her in a cell awaiting trial for murder. So, as I said, I read it In a Dark, Dark Wood, and even though I didn't love it, I found it like a very easy, nice read. And when I want a bit more tension in my life, I'm going to reach for this one. Now are 2 books I bought mainly either for Brittany or for the book club we're running, Sisters Approximately, so these may make more sense in context. The first one I got is The Anatomical Shape of a Heart by Jen Bennett. So me and Brittany are absolutely in love with Jen Bennett. That's why our book club is called Sisters Approximately, based on Alex Approximately. So we've never read this book and we wanted to read it together. So this is either going to be one that we read in the book club or just read together for our shared love of Jen Bennett. I don't even really know what it's about. It's just Jen Bennett. Beatrix Adams knows exactly how she's spending the summer before her senior year. Determined to follow in Da Vinci's footsteps, she's ready to tackle the one thing that will give her an advantage in a museum-sponsored scholarship contest, drawing actual cadavers. But when she tries to sneak her way into a hospital's willed body program and misses the last metro home, she meets a boy who turns her summer plans upside down. I am so excited. I don't think you will be able to understand how excited I am. Jen Bennett is my favourite author. I am absolutely in love with her writing, and this is definitely going to be a good time. Next is a book I've read for our, I guess this is going up like middle of June, so we may have announced July already. Don't know how we're going to do it, but I've gone for This Monstrous Thing by Mackenzie Lee. This is one of the books I'm going to be reading for our second podcast based on the month of July, where we read The Diviners. I'm using this book. Brittany said it has a lot of this, like, similar themes. I don't know why. She says it has similar themes and I trust her and I sort of want to read it. The naked hardback is pretty gorgeous, so I got excited about that. But this is about, it says, in 1818 Geneva, men built with clockwork parts live hidden away from society, cared for only by illegal mechanics called shadow boys. 2 years ago, shadow boy Alistair Finch, try again. 2 years ago, shadow boy Alistair Finch's life is shattered to bits. His brother Oliver dead, his sweetheart Mary gone, his chance to break free of Geneva lost. Heartbroken and desperate, Alistair does the unthinkable thing. He brings Oliver back from the dead. I'm not going to read any more because I don't want to know any more, but I really enjoy Mackenzie Lee's writing. The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue was, again, one of my favourite books of last year, so I'm excited to pick up something completely different from her. Now I have some gifts from the lovely Laura's Bookish Thoughts. I will link her Twitter so you can give her some love. She bought me 2 books just because she knew that June was already shaping up to be a pretty bad month for me because I'm supposed to be getting on a plane to America, which obviously isn't happening. So she decided to cheer me up. The first book she got me was One of Us is Next by Karen M. McManus. This is the sequel to One of Us is Lying, which I read in May and really enjoyed. I gave it 4 stars and I'm excited to get to the sequel. So One of Us is Lying is about a group of 5 kids who are in detention and only 4 make it out of detention alive. And they have to find out what's going on, who's framing them for murder, all that sort of thing. A lot of fun. It's like The Breakfast Club, add murder. So I'm excited to see where this book goes. Obviously I can't read you anything because it will spoil the first book, but I'm genuinely excited to see where we take this. The second book she got me, I'm trying to reach it and not bend down in the camera, is Good Girl Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. So I'm pretty sure she bought me this on the day I added it to my Amazon wishlist because I still haven't read the first book, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which somebody bought me off my wishlist in April. I've been spoilt. So yeah, she bought me the sequel to that one and sadly I don't really know what it's about yet and I don't really know what the first book's about, but how nice of her to just pick some books off my wishlist and give them to me. Like, she's amazing. And the last gift I got, which was completely random and I still don't really know who this person is, and I got Emergency Contact by Mary H.K. Choi. So I, as I said, it was one of my favourite books of 2019. I read it from the library and I was dying to own my own copy. So this has been on my wish list since late 2019 and I now own it, which is lovely. It is from Kirsty from Smeared Eyes on Twitter. Again, anyone I've mentioned will be linked in the description. So grateful because this was, as I said, one of my favourite books. It's about Penny, who is gone away to college and she's not really sure how to like interact with people, especially boys. And then Sam is working in the coffee shop on campus and they don't really know each other, but they decide to become each other's emergency contact in their phones, like obviously in case of emergencies, for basically no reason. It's really weird, but they end up like falling in love and it's all lovely. Such a great book, would definitely recommend. So all I've got left now are the books I got from A Box of Stories, which is an unboxing I did that I think went up on my channel last week when I'm filming, like not when I'm filming this, the day that this is going to go up, I'm pretty sure it's a week before. So if you haven't watched that and you want to, then end the video now, but I'm just going to talk you through the books I got there. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I have talked about these like a week before this video is going up, so you don't need to hear it all again. But the first book I got is The Puranas by Roberto Saviano. This is about like the teenagers in the mafia who would like to take control, pretty much. And they have to divide their time between Facebook and Call of Duty and patrolling the streets armed with pistols and AK-47s. Not something I'd ever pick for myself to read, but I am sort of intrigued. It is translated, which I didn't know, which fills a lot of prompts for challenges I want to do all year, so I'm excited for this. Next, there's one I was accidentally waving in the background. That is Bad Sister by Sam Carrington. This is about, I've already forgotten, this is when flames rip through their family home, only teenager Stephanie and her younger brother escape unhurt. And now psychologist Connie Summers wants to help Stephanie rebuild her life. She has a new name, a young son, and everything to live for. But some truths are better left alone. Not going to talk through this in full detail because obviously it has gone up a week ago. but I'm really enjoying the pink on this, and a thriller that I wouldn't pick for myself, but I'm intrigued. Next is another thriller, and that is 11 Missed Calls by Elizabeth Carpenter. This is about a girl who thinks her mother's died 30 years ago, and it turns out that she might not have been. She's found out her husband might be cheating on her, and then a body is found. Again, not going to go into too much detail, this video is long enough for me to be repeating last week's video. And the final book I got in that was Valley of the Moon by Melanie Gideon. I'm quite intimidated by this one because it's really something I wouldn't normally pick up. And this is about Lux Lysander, who she normally lives in, where she lives, San Diego, and she's gone to San Francisco, and she's gone to California with her young son to visit his grandparents, and she's just trying to find out where she wants to base her life, pretty much, is what I've got from the synopsis of this one. So that is the 16 books I got this month. I am sweating from moving so much. It's also very hot in here and I've had to shut the window to stop the noise of the traffic. So now I'm going to try and hold all these books for a thumbnail, and I'm sure that's going to be extremely warm. Thank you, world. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If there are any books here that you desperately want to buddy read with me, then please let me know, because I'd be more than willing to. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.